I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? I had my first Whatnot show yesterday, and I want to tell you guys how it went. Let me introduce myself. My name is Danica. I am a part-time reseller. Up until yesterday, I have sold on Poshmark Canada, Poshmark US, and dabbled in eBay. And yesterday, I finally took the plunge and had my first show on Whatnot. If you don't know what Whatnot is, I did make a video that I will link up here giving more information about what it is. Basically, it's a live auction reselling app. So you schedule a show and then you hope people show up and you auction off whatever you auction off. They have like 1,000 different categories. They just opened up the women's clothes, I guess, recently, and it's exploded. So I kind of avoided selling on Whatnot for a while. If you've watched past videos, I kind of go over why. I don't know. I got weird vibes from Whatnot. To be really honest, I'm not into the clicky reselling drama world, and it seemed like that kind of migrated to Whatnot, and that doesn't interest me. I mean, it interests me, but I don't want to be involved. So anyway, I think where we left off in my last video, I was just done my onboarding, so I talked about that. So now I have more hands-on experience with the app. I mean, I don't have a ton of experience. Like I said, I've only done one show, but I kind of want to go over what my experience was with that first show, if I thought it was successful, where I think the app could improve, things like that. So first things first, I am super pleased with how my show went. I ended up selling 32 out of my 46 items. So, I mean, for my first show, that's really exciting. I was able to use US shipping labels, USPS shipping labels. I had emailed Whatnot support prior to my show and confirmed with them that as long as my return address was my US mailing address, it would generate USPS labels, which I thought would be better in terms of encouraging people to buy from me. USPS is cheaper than Canada Post if I'm shipping within the US. There is no doubt about it. I did have one person order from Canada, and she actually said in the comments that it pretty much turns out the same for her. So that's good to know. I wasn't planning on doing more than one show. Full disclosure, I was like, I'll do one show, have really good stuff, hopefully make some money, and then I'm gonna dip. And before the show even ended, I had like decided I was gonna do another one. So I can see how it can be a little addicting. And it was just so fun. So it did take me a little bit to kind of get coordinated with having my phone recording me, having my laptop off screen, also set up on the show so that I could start auctions from there. And I had music playing. Afterwards found out that no one could hear my music, so whatever. I mean, I was vibing. I was having fun. What I really like about Whatnot is that there's a chat, and so there's a live chat, and that I could have literally just stood there for an hour and not even sold anything and just chatted with people. That, like, I love that kind of thing. Especially I find with resellers, like, we don't have coworkers, and so it's kind of nice to be in an environment where you can talk about reselling. You can talk shop, is that the saying? Anyway, so that was fun. Also, to add, I had great moderators. I had my friends Birdie, Tabs, and Anna moderating my show, which was so helpful, keeping track of requests and making sure there was no one in my show I didn't want in my show. So yeah, that was really good. I did make a few mistakes, but honestly, I am the kind of person who expects to be perfect at something as soon as I start doing it. And I think it's a really good lesson for me to remember that you're not going to be perfect when you're first trying something all the time. Sometimes there was a learning curve, and there was a learning curve. Like I learned, Birdie told me I could pin the listing before I was starting the auction so that the information for the listing was actually on the screen. I accidentally started the wrong item, and so the person who had requested it was bidding on the wrong item and then had to cancel it after. So these are all things, I mean, she was super great about it, and I'm thankful that people were patient with me and understanding with me. But all in all, the platform itself is pretty user-friendly. I did watch the videos that they have on their website to see if I could just make myself less anxious by looking at how it worked. But honestly, it didn't really, they should show how it works on desktop, because I was on my laptop running the auctions on my laptop, but then you know, had my phone videoing me and the item. What else? So after, I would love to know how much people are paying for shipping. That's the other thing, is I wish I could see how much shipping cost the buyers, just out of curiosity. There might be a way for me to see that, but I haven't seen that yet. Now, I got everything packed up last night and shipped today, so it should start tracking tomorrow, which is good. And then your balance gets paid, I think they said 2 days after the buyers receive their order. So that's pretty standard. Compared to Poshmark, the commission that Whatnot takes is less. They take, I think it's around 11%, and part of that is actually like the the payment processing fee. I did notice that they use Shippo for their shipping labels, which is funny because they stress that we have to use their shipping labels, but they're using a third party to process the shipping labels, which brings me to my next point: shipping with Whatnot. Not gonna lie, kind of a nightmare. It's very annoying. It's a mix between Poshmark and eBay, because you have to weigh your items before the show and input the weight into the listing when you're setting your store up for your show. So I thought, okay, perfect, that's all that I'm gonna need to do. And then I realized as I was shipping, I bulk generated labels, which, like, I don't understand why they even have that option when you have to go in individually to every order and update the dimensions of the parcel and the weight of the parcel. So, and if there's a discrepancy for whatever reason, like if the dimensions are bigger, because I had to use boxes for some things, is that going to come out of my pocket? I don't think so, but it's just something to keep an eye on. You have to go in, change the dimensions, change the weight, and then regenerate a label, and then put that label on your parcel. Okay, I was editing the video and realized I wanted to add something. So I was playing around on the Whatnot website, and because I have one of my shipments is showing as not ready in my manifest with the cross-border courier. So I was investigating in there, and you need to make sure that you make all your changes to your shipping label before you mark it shipped, or you will get charged for the shipping label. And this one was like $23, so it's a good thing I didn't need to generate a new shipping label. So make sure, please make sure before you mark your orders as shipped that you've made all the changes you needed to do, that you've changed the weight and the size or whatever that you needed to do. So yes, and yeah. I have to be really careful using USPS shipping because I had first class shipping labels for a couple things, and I had to remember not to use the priority mail free mailers. I do have a question. Maybe one of the US sellers can help me, but what's the difference between flat rate and priority? Can I use because some of the flat rate things say priority on them. So if someone buys a priority shipping label, can I use the flat rate box as long as it says priority? Because in that case, I'm gonna go back to the cross-border courier tomorrow and grab a bunch of those boxes. So if you know the answer, that would be awesome. If you could just let me know in the comments. What else? Yeah, I also am really curious about shipping, because I think there's discounted shipping. Once you buy something, then your shipping gets discounted, but I don't remember. It's not like super obvious to me anyway what the discount is, because I was in Erica's show right before mine, EK Thrifts. If you don't follow her on Instagram and whatnot, you should. She is actually the reason why I decided to finally give Whatnot a shot, because I was like, you know what, she's like a genuine, authentic person, and she's curating these collections. And yeah, anyway, what was I even saying? I was in her show before mine, and she was saying how someone almost had free shipping, and I'm like, how does, like, I don't think she can do that on her end, but I just don't really understand how all that works yet. So maybe I need to dig deeper into my like reports on Whatnot and see if I can see what someone paid for shipping, but that's just something I'm curious about, so that I could answer questions if someone had them. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, the giveaway to me was like not super obvious how to do it. I had it in my store, but I was just like including a Starbucks gift card to whoever had the biggest order. And so I think next time I'm just gonna say that I'm doing that. I'm not gonna actually put it in the store as a giveaway, but if I was going to do a giveaway, I would do something different. I would get maybe like a few $5 gift cards, and then just say if you spend $15, then your name gets put in for the draw. And then I think there's like an integrated giveaway something in Whatnot. I just haven't tried to use it yet, and I don't know how to do it. What else is there to talk about? I think that pretty much covers it. It is really fun. Honestly, I really enjoyed doing this show. I was really nervous, like right before. I was really excited, and then right before the show I got really nervous, but it was really fun. It was so fun. So I'm excited to do it again on Friday. I did schedule a show for Friday at 5 p.m. I just went in and looked, and there's a bunch of shows Friday at 5. So we'll see. There's a few bookmarks on my show. I'm slowly loading items into it, and there are things that I have never listed in my Poshmark closet. There's some things that are left over from the show yesterday, but most of the things will be fresh. Never been on Poshmark, never been listed anywhere. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm going to be doing Canadian shipping on that one, and the theme is Canadian fall vibe. So I have like some cute sweaters and modern and vintage, which I really liked. I think the reason why I was successful last night was I had a ton of Lululemon. Like I had found a ton of Lululemon at the bins and pretty much saved it all for that show. The Aritzia stuff didn't really sell, and the Anthropologie stuff was hit or miss. I think Aritzia will be more popular in a Canadian show, so we'll see if that's the case. I'm excited to see if that works. In the future, when I go to the bins, if I find Lululemon, I might just grab it, put it aside for a Lululemon show. But I'm excited for the Friday show because it's not like brand only. It'll be like a vibe. So yeah, basically my intention, my hope for the show yesterday was just to have fun and to have good vibes and to like party, and that's exactly what happened. So I was really excited about that. And just making sales was a bonus. I had literally, the bar was on the floor. My expectations were 0. I was like, even if I show up and just like hang out with people for an hour on Whatnot, I'll be fine. Like I'll be having fun. So the fact that I made sales was a bonus, and I'm really, really grateful and like just so humbled that people showed up and bid on my items. So with that, I think that's all I had to cover, and I'm really excited for my show Friday. I think it'll be fun, and hopefully we'll see. I'm still on the fence on if it's something that I will be integrating on a regular basis. I think the thing with Whatnot is you have to market a lot, and that's one thing I wish I didn't have to do, was like incessantly posting about it on Instagram and adding Whatnot stories like twice a day. Make sure you come to my show, make sure you come to my show. These are the things I'm gonna have, everything is loaded. I don't love that, but Whatnot is growing as a platform. So I'm hoping if it's something that I continue doing, that I can market on exclusively on the Whatnot app, and we'll see. So hopefully no one found me scammy, and if they did, I get it. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to get on Whatnot in the first place, was I found it like kind of like, okay, enough already with all the posts and all the stories about Whatnot. I almost wanted to post today, like I'm still posting on Poshmark too. I'm not like just on Whatnot, but I can see, I mean, I sold 32 items in one night, and my average sales price was like not what it is on Poshmark, but I'm not having to take 10 pictures. I'm not having to share a bunch. I'm not having to do all that stuff. So yes, it was work prior to the show. That is something I wanted to talk about as well, was the amount of prep involved in a Whatnot show. So you have to load your store. I wish I would have known that I could take pictures right in the app, because I took all my pictures beforehand, and then I was like weighing everything, and yeah, now I'm just taking pictures directly in the app. I kind of know how much things weigh based on my spreadsheet for the last show. Like tank tops, shirts, sweaters, jeans, kind of gives me an idea, and you can adjust the weight after the show. I would rather overshoot and then reduce it, and then the person pays less shipping. But yeah, I feel like I'm still doing things kind of the long way and the hard way, but it's just one of those things that once you get a system going, you figure it out as you go. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it at least one more shot, and I will report back and see if it's something that I'm interested in continuing to do. As of right now, I don't know. I'm really on the fence. I'm like really on the fence. I can see why some people are really successful, and I was talking to Tabs about it earlier today. She's Urban Goddess Shop on YouTube, and I honestly think being on YouTube helps a lot with doing Whatnot, because I'm very used to recording myself and talking out into the universe, just basically talking to myself. So that is something that made it easier. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera. So yeah, I would encourage it to anyone, especially with the lower commission fees. I think that's amazing, and I can see why they're getting traction. I mean, some people are really, really successful, making like a lot of money per show. So, I mean, good for them. Selling out shows. I mean, Erica almost sold out her show before mine, and she was on for like 3 hours. I was like, that is crazy, like in a good way. I also saw someone had a show like early this morning and sold out her show. So I was like kind of like, oh, well, there's no time slots really, because no one's gonna be on the app during the weekday. And I was wrong. I looked at her solds and I was like, oh, okay, she sold out a show at like 6 a.m. this morning. So the next one I scheduled is for Friday, but if I were to do another one, I would be less worried about doing evenings and weekends. I think it is kind of weird that there's, I think, an unspoken rule about not scheduling your shows at the same time as other people. As the platform is growing, there will be no choice but to schedule shows at the same time. And people are scheduling their shows like every day at 5 p.m. Well, that's ridiculous. Why do you get that time slot? You know, so I'm just worrying about me, and I'm scheduling them when it works for me. And I mean, if anything, the bigger sellers will get everyone that's on the app then, and no one's going to come to my show, and then that'll kind of show me, okay, maybe don't schedule your shows at the same time as whoever. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular. I'm just saying there are some higher caliber sellers already on Whatnot, and I feel like it's kind of a weird, like I said, unspoken rule of like not scheduling your shows to be conflicting. So I don't know. With all that said, let me know in the comments what you think of Whatnot, if you've been on the app, if you've sold on the app, if you've bought on the app, if you were at my show. Thank you so much. I had so much fun. I hope you had fun too. And I hope to see you on Friday. See ya!